Nyob Zoo Milwaukee and welcome to the May edition of Nyob Zoo Milwaukee TV. We are wishing you all good health in this time of crisis and hope that everyone is staying safe. I am Malia Zhang. The word Nyob Zoo means hello in the Hmong language. It is used to welcome or greet people. So Nyob Zoo and welcome again to our show. Today, we continue the COVID-19 pandemic coverage by sharing with you stories within our community and experiences of various individuals dealing with the coronavirus and how this pandemic has affected their lives. Cheng Zhang will share his personal story of battling the coronavirus. Also, Nu Tao, a local respiratory therapist located here in Milwaukee, will tell her heroic story of going to New York to be in the front lines of this pandemic. We will take you to experience a not-so-ordinary Hmong funeral to see how our community grieves and pay their respects while adhering to social distancing regulations. Not only that, we have a story of help as Hmong American Peace Academy and Hunger Task Force of Milwaukee team up to feed HAPA scholars while classrooms are closed due to COVID-19, and we will also share with you important information within our community. Please note that all information that is given is up to date of taping of each segment, which is on Tuesday, May 19th at 7 p.m. For current updated information about COVID-19, please visit cdc.gov and dhs.wisconsin.gov. In the Hmong community, grieving and supporting a family during a loss takes a village. Today, we take you to a not-so-ordinary Hmong funeral to see how this family grieved and paid respect for an elder while caught in the middle of this pandemic.
It's a sad day here in Milwaukee today for the Hmong community. We're here at Broskowitz Funeral Home on Forest Home to celebrate the life of Van Yi Yang, a member of the Hmong community here in Milwaukee, and his family is doing a funeral here today. And sadly, traditionally, the Hmong funerals are 3 days long, and today we have compressed it down to from 10 to 1 due to social distancing of the COVID-19 order. They are practicing social distancing by providing gloves and masks and then only allowing 10 people outside and 10 people inside at a time. So it's a different way to experience a funeral in the Hmong community here. So today I'm going to go ask a couple of attendees that are coming here to see what they think about doing a funeral like this. So let's go see what they have to say.
It's a very unfortunate event during this unfortunate time, during this COVID-19 thing, but it is his funeral. And traditional Hmong funerals are a very big thing, but unfortunately we can't give him the nice, proper Hmong funeral that he deserves. So unfortunate that the time has come to this, so we're here to give him all the love and that we have from outside the family so that we can have this good outcome for this funeral at this time.
It's kind of a culture shock. Government more safety spread learning way of life through a lot of this is a time that we come together and
suốt lệ bù tu xa là mua tu gió sáng là chẳng là mua ta chỉ khá cho mi bao ta bé sáng suốt cái lú sáng suốt cái chua là bé ô chỉ tao khá cho mi hà lên đó.
Cú sáng pha bé lên lụt cho bé cho cái này trả mong số tờ bé số tờ cùi sáng có tàu khó dùng số tờ ô tô ô ký chỉ bé số tờ cho nhớ tàu cam bé sáng ta tuần chạy bé mong là bé sáng băng của tàu luôn để dùng trộn này của chỉ nhớ này lỗ này nhớ trộn lúc là tết nữa nên chạy bé mong ta sẽ nhớ trộn lúc sợ nó tết cam mong cái kỳ COVID-19 nó lúc chỉ trộn lúc tết chơi nó thông là khán tu nó chạy tết nó tết chứ tàu mua chú căn lý cái chè lúa chui phụ xuất lời nhân chủ lệ sẽ chỉ sĩ kỳ mò nó chè họ nói vậy họ cứ tu sa hành ít họ sẽ story hành để cho xuất lời chè ta mua tu trò bây xuất lời chè nó là có xuất lời sang cho lúa tê lúa chè dùng cho lên lúa chè lúa sinh lúa dùng cứ xuất lời nhau nó số sạch một tên mình cho bây xuất lời.
Well, it is a very difficult situation right now. We are still allowing visitations. We are still allowing what most people call a wake, which would be an open casket with the body present. The only thing is we still have to follow the 10-person rule. We do have a large facility here. We have a double chapel. We have a lounge area. So we are able to accommodate a little more than 10 in the building. However, we have to kind of watch room by room how many people we have. I've had a couple Hmong funerals in the past, and we're always been very accommodating. This is, of course, very different for a Hmong funeral because we've had Hmong funerals where they were 2 or 3 days, like the normal tradition states. A lot of food, a lot of people paying their respects, and I understand as difficult as this is for me, this is very difficult for the Hmong tradition because of the lack of those things, the people and the food and the celebration that takes place. The only thing I can say is if you are going to a funeral or you are planning for a funeral, I would ask that you probably check in advance as much as you can with the funeral home, with the cemetery, because rules and regulations are changing daily as we speak. Of course, we're all hoping that this ends very soon, but in the meantime, we have to follow the rules and just check with your funeral home or cemetery to see what the current guidelines are so that it'll be easier to plan and easier to tell your family what they can and can't do when it comes to the funeral.
It is important to know that Hua Yi Yang lost his life to other medical conditions and not due to COVID-19. Thank you to the Yang family for allowing Nyob Zoo Milwaukee TV to share this story. Our hearts and prayers are with you and all families having to face similar challenges during this pandemic. Stay with us. We'll be right back with stories of our local community members and their experiences with COVID-19.
Trở lại tới có tu nó là, chú kế số bé sinh trên cái hiện chú bé dễ dàng, lúc sai cái phán xử lý chế cô mò hay chế cần đỡ. Nếu như trên cái hiện chú có chế tốt này, hay lựa tu nhớ hữu có chế này, bị人đỡ dùng trong số số lên, thọ có sang đỡ số bé sinh. Hay chỉ sau nó các hạ ta chú kế số bé sinh nó có chỉ nu, sẽ có bé bé sinh America, có cho credit cards, là xí có tiền đóng đỡ hữu chế cho nhà. Cái số bé sinh nó ở dùng gì, sang hôn đỡ internet, là hữu số tông là yên tàu, chủ yếu xí có cho nhau sư,人đỡ ởนู่นcả.
Welcome back. The coronavirus has spread around the world and has affected many across our nation. Today, a vaccine is still not available. Locally, an expecting father, Cheng Zhong, was tested positive for COVID-19. He shares his story with Tai Yang of Nyob Zoo Milwaukee TV a day after being released from the hospital and while still being quarantined at home. Let's go see what he has to say about his experience and battle with this virus.
Okay, nhớ rằng lúc nó cũng tao mới tôi khô cái tao cho tôi cảm mò COVID có cho nhớ chung là của Milwaukee nó nên sắm bán nữa có experience nhớ cái mà tôi cảm mò là cho bé chấm mong thằng có introduce các thứ kiện sao?
Yes, cũng là bé Cheng của nhau Milwaukee, Wisconsin nó ha. Cũng有看到好多home operator 的路那到一毛不应过过的古应用门前的不好照顾路哈的过下来路就的 channel 过下来路 try to finish my recovery 的 channel 哈。
So if you're more comfortable in English, we're going to talk English right now. Give me a little of your experience.
When I started picking up the sickness, where like it started from a headache. And it developed into like a stage where my body was just feeling weak. The next day, it's just I got home and then I took like a quick warm bath, try to go to sleep. And when I woke up, when I slept through the night, I woke up the next morning. That's when I started feeling the symptoms. My fever was just like kicking in. It was like on and off. I just couldn't move around a lot, and I just felt like my body was starting to like become unstable and freeze once in a while. we kind of let it wait out for like a couple of days, and then finally on Sunday evening, I felt like it wasn't getting any better. So then we went to urgent care, and we wanted to go get tested to see if I had the coronavirus. They didn't have like a test kit at Aurora at the moment. So then all they did was just did like a temperature check, my heart rate and stuff like that to see if I was like wheezing and stuff like that. Like an hour later, and they told us that there's mucus like and buildup in in the chest of my lungs. So chances are it's probably coronavirus. We kind of waited out again for another week. It wasn't getting any better. Somehow it got really worse. So then we ended up going to the ER.
You were in the hospital for how many days?
I was in the hospital for 5 days. They checked my oxygen level. It was really, really low. I just kind of stayed in the hospital. It was a very uncomfortable feel because like I just felt like it wasn't like home or anything, and my emotions are just kind of playing around with my head.
What was going through your mind?
I just felt like I don't know if I was gonna make it home or not. I was having like mixed feelings and thoughts whether or not like I was gonna make it home because I keep hearing all this stuff about like people that had the coronavirus not making it home, and they have to go to the next stage, and sometimes that's like really scary.
What would you say to people out there that says, this disease is not serious? Right?
Well, I just want to share the news because this coronavirus is serious because I had experienced it. I just never thought that I would have to go through it because I'm already one of the COVID patient and survivor at the moment. I just want everybody else to be safe and not have to go through what I went through. If it takes for you to have to wear a mask, glove, or keep your social distancing, for example, I mean that people take that seriously and in precaution because once you have it, you have it.
Thank you for opening it up to the community and getting this message out to our community and keeping everybody safe with your story here. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
We are happy to see that you have recovered and is feeling healthy. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Cheng. We wish you and your family good health. We continue with the story of a local Hmong Milwaukee respiratory therapist who took a brave opportunity to fight COVID-19 in one of the nation's hardest coronavirus outbreak state. Let's go listen in on her conversation with Don Yang about her experience and some challenges of being in the front line during this pandemic.
Thank you so much for your time. Can you please introduce yourself and your title?
My name is Nhu Tao, and I am a respiratory therapist from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And tell us where you are right now.
I was deployed about 3.5 weeks ago to the state of New Jersey to help out with the COVID-19 crisis.
So what drove you to volunteer to go to in New York?
I love the city of New York, and I've been coming out here for the last 20 years, and I just absolutely love it out here. So I was working for Children's Hospital at the time, but I needed a little bit more challenge. So I left the pediatric world, and I wanted to go into the adult world. I was previously offered a position with Aurora, but due to the pandemic, they needed help out here. So I decided, what better opportunity than to come out here and help out and also gain experience.
Well, I know that you have a family here in Milwaukee. Tell us a little bit about what some of the challenges are.
I didn't want my family or friends to be the main decision maker. And once I set my mind on something, I just wanted to go through with it. I kept it short and simple, and then I told them that I will see you back in 13 weeks. On a typical day, we would line up outside the hospital, and before we can enter the hospital, we would go through a pre-screening. And what that basically is they would check our temperature, and they would provide us with a mask. And then from there, they would direct us to the nurse's office, and there we would pick up our full PPE, which included a N95 mask, a gown, and also a hairnet. Once we were provided with our full PPE, then we were given a list of numbers, and those numbers were our patient's room. And we would go into our patient's room and assess our patients and basically make sure that they're comfortable and stable.
So I've heard that you actually fainted and had to be on leave for a few days.
I was very, very weak. I ran a fever on and off, and I slept most of the day. And in the evening, I woke up to get something to eat. I didn't have much of an appetite, so I decided to go outside for some fresh air. When I returned back into the hotel, I collapsed in the elevator. When I finally came to, I was bleeding at the forehead, and I had hit my head pretty hard. The elevator door was still open, and it was on my floor. The rule here, due to the crisis, is that only one person can ride the elevator. And so being all by myself, no one witnessed my fall at all. So I crawled out of the elevator, slowly worked my way back into my room. And when I finally got into my room, I had collapsed again. I didn't have the energy to do anything. So when I got up from the ground, I crawled over to the hotel phone, and that's when I picked up the phone and called the front desk and told them to call 911 immediately. When I was rushed to the hospital, they ran a whole bunch of tests on me, but their biggest concern was that I might have caught COVID-19. So they did a swab test, and they told me that it would take 24 to 48 hours to get a result, but it took much longer than that. It took approximately 5 days before I got a result. When the results came in, it came in false negative, meaning that it was inconclusive. But due to my symptoms, they told me I must remain in 14-day quarantine. But if I improve, then they will not run another test due to the limited swab test out here. And then I would just recover in the 14 days and return back to work. I would say probably day 8, day 9, I was starting to get my appetite back. And the first thing I bought was sushi. And the funny thing is, I don't really eat that. But after not eating for 8 days, that was the first thing I craved for. So I slowly ate that and other things, fruit and vegetables, and I just slowly gained my energy back. So due to that, I didn't need another test.
So that is good for people to know, is that even though you test negative, if
Yes.
you have the COVID-19 symptoms, that you really should take precautions and isolate yourself or quarantine yourself.
Yes, definitely. That is one message that I would love to the community, is the fact that not everyone can be saved. So just continue to protect yourselves and each other and isolate yourself if you're showing any type of symptoms. I think it's important to know that if you're not feeling well, just assume that you have COVID-19. As hard as it is for me to admit that, I believe that I was contracted with it. And the best thing to do is just continue to isolate yourself and then return back to work or return back to your friends and family when you are feeling better. Those tests are not always available. And even if they are, there is a list of symptoms that you have to have before a doctor can approve you to get tested. Don't depend on that. Just listen to your body. When I came out here, I told myself I am on a 13-week mission, and I plan to complete that. Even though I've been through a lot of roller coasters since then, I try to stay positive and tell myself that everything happens for a reason. And yes, I might have caught COVID, and it was a very, very horrible experience, but I'm still alive, and I'm still here. And I just want to complete my mission. Now, should things improve and they cut my contract short, at that moment, then I have no choice but to go home. But in the meantime, I want to be here for the people of New York and New Jersey and, help out as much as I can.
We appreciate your bravery and wishing you can come back safe and healthy to Milwaukee soon, Nyob. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the story of help and caring within our Milwaukee community.
Trở lại tới Jakarta tu nói là, chú kế số pe sinh trên cái hiện chú pe dễ dàng, lúc sai cái pan xử lý chế cụ mò hay chế cần đỡ. Nếu như trên cái hiện chú có chế tao này, hay lựa tu nhớ hữu có chế này, bị人đỡ dùng dùng số số lên, thầu có sang đỡ số pe sinh. Hay chỉ sau nó cả hà ta chú kế số pe sinh nó yêu chỉ nu, sẽ có pe cho pe sinh America, có cho credit cards, là xí có tiền đóng đỡ hữu chế cho nhà. 给小辈生活我用意，上红豆也能呢，老虎树洞老引导，主要是个小鸟事，也能得我弄个。
Welcome back. In time of crisis, it takes special people and organizations with compassion and empathy to lift up a community living in poverty. One of the most essential things in life is food. Hmong American Peace Academy teams up with the Hunger Task Force of Milwaukee to make sure that their scholars are well nourished while the school is on shutdown. Let's go hear Chris Herjong, Executive Director of HAPA, and Sherry Tussler, Executive Director of Hunger Task Force, thoughts about their partnership to feed the hungry and resources that are out there to put food on the table for struggling families in this time of need.
So today we are very fortunate to partner with the Hunger Task Force. They are delivering donated food to our families. We have over 1,800 scholars in K4 through 12th grade. With that, it is over 800 families, and I will say that about 95% of our students live below the poverty line, and so we have a huge population that are in the low income, and so we are during this particular time, we are in need of great donations, whether it be food or money-wise, so that we can then provide our families the necessary food for survival during this challenging but scary time.
Everyone is eligible for food share if they're unemployed and there's no money coming into the house. And so if you are recently unemployed, if your hours got cut, if you were once on food share and got cut off, now is the time to come back. It's a total forgiveness program right now. And food share is the nation's #1 defense against hunger. As an example, the Hunger Task Force's entire operating budget for 12 months is $19 million. Food share in February in Wisconsin, 1 month, $65 million. So people are getting more money on their food share card than they've ever seen before. They're getting additional payments, and for parents with students at home that don't get the school lunch program anymore, they're going to get a new payment called the Pandemic EBT payment, which will be $125 per student per month. That's serious food buying power. The Hmong community can go to the Hmong American Friendship Association, which is operating 2 days a week, and get culturally relevant services there, and mostly culturally relevant foods. They can also, on the south side, go to the Milwaukee Christian Center, which is also serving Hmong people and doing a pretty good job of that. I would like to remind people that Hunger Task Force also has a Hmong speaker on staff, Fu Zhang, and he can help people if they call the 777-0483 number. We can get you connected to Fu, so if you don't understand what's expected around the food share program, he is an expert at it and he will help you.
We are very hopeful. We take this challenge as an opportunity for us to better ourselves in terms of distance learning, in terms of really to support our staff and our students and their families with the social emotional part, because if we don't address the social emotional part, the academics is not coming, it's not going to move forward. And so the question here is, how do we close the achievement gap given the inequality of the technology that we are faced with our families? Access to technology, access to internet are very, very challenging for our families at this time. I would like to give a shout out to our scholars and their families. I encourage you and invite you to contact the school, your teachers, your leaders. If you need anything at all, please email us, call us. We want you to be healthy, we want you to be safe, and we look forward to seeing you in the classrooms soon.
Thank you to HAPA and Hunger Task Force in contributing positive actions of impact to help lift our community. For more information on these organizations, please visit their website at myhapa.org or hungertaskforce.org. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more important information for our community.
trở lại tới có tu nó là chú kế số bé sinh trên cái hiện chú bé dễ dàng lúc sai cái phá xử lý chế cụ mò hay chế cần đỡ nếu như trên cái hiện chú có chế tên này hay lựa tu nhớ hữu có chế này bị人đỡ dùng trong số số lên thọ có sang đỡ số bé sinh hay chỉ sau nó các hạt ta chú kế số bé sinh nó 有 chỉ nu sẽ có bé bé sinh America có cho credit cards là xí có tên đóng đỡ hữu chế cho nha cái số bé sinh nó ở dùng gì sang hôn đỡ internet là hữu số tông là hiện tàu chủ yếu xí có cho nhau sư人đỡ ởนู่นcả.
Welcome back. On Sunday, May 17th, Milwaukee Health Department announced new hours for free COVID-19 testing, which started May 11th. The new hours are 11 a.m. through 8 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and closed Sunday. These are hours for both locations at Midtown Center, 5825 West Hope, and at UMOS, 2701 South Chase Avenue. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, there are two kinds of tests available for COVID-19. A viral test tells you if you have a current infection, and an antibody test tells you if you had a previous infection. An antibody test may not be able to show if you have a current infection because it can take 1 or 3 weeks after infection to make antibodies. The CDC does not yet know if having antibodies to the virus can protect someone from getting infected with the virus again, or how long that protection might last. You don't need to have an appointment or have symptoms to have COVID-19 tests taken. In Wisconsin, people can call 211 if they have concerns or questions. For up-to-date information about tests and current local information, please visit city.milwaukee.gov/coronavirus. Also, for tips on prevention and information on COVID-19, please visit cdc.org. The Hmong American Family Association and Milwaukee Hmong New Year Planning Committee would like to announce that the 2020-2021 Milwaukee Hmong New Year will be canceled due to the unpredictable circumstances of COVID-19. Along with this popular event, the United Hmong Family Inc. of Minnesota announced on April 24th cancellation of the 2020 Hmong International Freedom Festival due to the same reason, to keep our community safe and healthy. Locally here in Milwaukee, other big events, such as the 2020 Democratic National Convention, has pushed their events until mid-August, and Summerfest new dates are September 3rd to the 19th. For current information, please visit summerfest.com or demconvention.com. Unemployment has reached almost 30% in Wisconsin due to this pandemic. Due to the overwhelming amount of claims, you may experience delays. For more information and resources about unemployment, visit dwd.wisconsin.gov. We thank you and appreciate your time for joining us for our May edition of Nyob Zoo Milwaukee TV. Until next time, be safe and stay healthy, and may our community be blessed and inspired to get through this pandemic together.
trở lại tới có tu nó là chú kế số bé sinh trên cái hiện chú bé dễ dàng lúc sai cái phá xử lý chế cụ mò hay chế cần đỡ nếu như trên cái hiện chú có chế tên này hay lựa tu nhớ hữu có chế này bị人đỡ dùng trong số số lên thọ có sang đỡ số bé sinh hay chỉ sau nó các hạt ta chú kế số bé sinh nó 有 chỉ nu sẽ có bé bé sinh America có cho credit cards là xí có tên đóng đỡ hữu chế cho nha cái số bé sinh nó ở dùng gì sang hôn đỡ internet là hữu số tông là hiện tàu chủ yếu xí có cho nhau sư人đỡ ởนู่นcả